So I was raised in a really strong Christian family. My mom and dad loved each other. I'm really blessed to have that in my life because I know not everybody has had that honor and blessing. There were 4 of us kids. I had a sister, a brother. I'm third, and then a little brother. Actually, younger brother. I can't call him little because he's a lot bigger than me now. But out of the kids, I was closest with my big brother. I don't know, all my memories revolve around him. A lot of my childhood taught me how to fish, hiking, camping. When I was 16, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And boy, that changed our family a lot. It went from kind of not having any stress in our family to having a lot. And unfortunately, the location of the tumor was the problem. It was at the base of the skull and kind of wrapped around that cervical spine area, which is a big, it controls your heart and your breathing and everything. So they weren't able to really, back in that day, go in and get the entire tumor. And after they took the tumor out, they did some radiation. It grew back 4 years later. And over the span of 13 years, he had 3 surgeries. But in that time, what I learned, what not only did he influence my personal life I'm a nurse now, because of those 13 years, I fell in love with the nurses that took care of him. But he influenced everything, including my walk with the Lord. He never complained. Those 13 years, he loved Jesus. To the night before he passed, he loved the Lord. During those 13 years, we spent a lot of time praying. Obviously, go forward for prayer. And I learned that God may not always heal. He can, but why he chooses to heal one person and doesn't heal the other, there are going to be times in life, whether it's a physical problem, an emotional, marital divorce, those things that are very painful. God can heal. Sometimes he does, and sometimes he doesn't. And that doesn't mean that he's limited. We may not know why he doesn't heal. But I do believe by faith that those years that my brother battled, he was touching people's lives. So for me, I find peace knowing that I got 13 years more with him. I was able to have some more memories with him. And so many people don't get to say goodbye to their loved ones. And I was able to do that. So a lot of good things about that. During the same time my brother was battling his tumor, my older sister actually has an autoimmune disease called primary biliary cirrhosis, PBC. And unfortunately, it's an autoimmune disorder that attacks its own liver. And basically, she went into liver failure. Really happy to say she was able to get a liver transplant about 17, 18 years ago at University of Washington. Very thankful for that, as she is a single mom, and she really didn't want to leave her child without a parent. And so she raised her by herself, and it was really important for her to be able to, she told the Lord, just at least let me live until she was 18. Well, she's 20 now, and unfortunately, just because she has a new liver doesn't mean that she no longer has the disease. So she is once again in liver failure and really declining quickly. She's currently on the University of Washington retransplant list, which we're very thankful for. What a great facility. But unfortunately, COVID has had a lot of influence on the number of organs, or lack thereof of organ, specifically livers. One of the things, again, that I am learning is, if my brother can have faith for 13 years, and he was the one going through it, and my sister now going through it, the one thing that we rely upon is faith and believing that God is on his throne. There's a song by Phillips, Craig, and Dean that there's an awesome lyric that says, "Through the good times and bad, you are God alone. You are on your throne." And I firmly believe that. I believe with all my heart that my sister may not get a liver, and I'm okay with that because I know where she's going. And I know that that was the Lord's will, that he was the one in control. And I think that's what I'm learning is there's times where I have no control. I can't control my brother's tumor growing back. I can't control that they couldn't get it all when they did surgery. I can't control now that there's not a liver available. My sister and I had a really good talk a couple of days ago, and it was so pertinent to what I'm experiencing, and that's that when things go wrong, it's so human to think that, what did I do? Did I not pray enough? Did I not, did my past sin come back and creep in? And when we were talking, it was important for me to share that when things go wrong, it's not going wrong. It's what you think is going wrong, that what is happening is controlled by the Lord. And there's this, whenever I start struggling with this, there's one of my two favorite verses, Isaiah 55, 8-9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declare the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. And this verse to me helps me remember that despite my sister getting sicker and keep getting bumped on that transplant list, his thoughts are still higher than mine, and his ways are so far superior. And in fact, it's probably a good thing, because I'd probably really mess things up if it was up to me. So the good news is my sister just recently was put on what's called a dual transplant list. She was accepted officially just 4 days ago to the Mayo Clinic down in Phoenix, and she will have to relocate, and she's very close to getting her liver. She was right off the bat number 4 on the list. So we're really thankful to the Lord. And as we look back, we see there is good things about maybe not getting better. There's a reason why the Lord wants her at the Mayo Clinic. There's a reason there's the right liver down there, whatever it may be, by faith. I'm just so excited about that. The hardest thing for me has been, I'm not afraid of her dying, because she gets to go see my brother and my mom, who just passed a year ago. It's the fear of hurting. The fear of hurting is the most difficult part, because when I lost my brother, it was really hard. But again, I have a verse that I've been drawn to over and over in the last year, and it's Philippians 4, 6-7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. And I just love that, because that's exactly what I feel at times. I feel anxious and afraid. I feel fear of hurting, of being crushed like I was. But it says right here, the peace of God will transcend all understanding and will guard my heart and my mind. Just what an awesome promise from the Lord. And he is the Prince of Peace. And I'm learning to draw on that during this time of uncertainty. But in the end, I know that it will always work out. It will. Thank you.